Epic intro music.
Hello Pretty Wolves, Lycaon Pictus here, and here is Mount and Blade Warband, my new series, The Great Heathen Army. Although Warband is set in a fantasy world Calradia, the affections included are all based from history. I'll explain it as we go. Basically, you've got the Vikings, you've got the Slavs, you've got the Holy Roman Empire, you've got the Italians, you've got the Turks, and you've got the Mongols, in short, but they've all got different names, and the world map is fantasy, and all the names are fantasy too. Although the king of the Nords, which is the Viking faction, is actually King Ragnar, so they've obviously taken a little bit of inspiration in the name as well. So of course we won't be playing as King Ragnar because the king is already called Ragnar, so it would be a little bit weird. I'm calling it the Great Heathen Army because I want to kind of go on theme too. Pause if you want to read that. So pick gender. I'm going to go for male. You were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was. I think I'm going to try and do it as close to possible as if it were a son of Ragnar. So we're going to go for a veteran warrior from these options. As a child, your family scrabbled out a meagre living from your father's wages as a guardsman to the local lord. It was not an easy existence, and you were too poor to get much of an education. You learned mainly how to defend yourself on the streets, with or without a weapon in hand. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as. Out of these options, don't really have too much choice. I think I'm going to go with the page at the nobleman's court. Obviously it's not the Viking option, but in the sort of sense that, you'd just be helping out because your father's the king sort of thing, rather than you wouldn't really be doing, shop work. You wouldn't be on the streets. You're not going to be a craftsman apprentice, and you're not going to be, an outcast. So I guess the top one is the closest. As a boy growing out of childhood, you were sent to live in the court of one of the nobles of the land. There, your finest lessons were in humility as you waited upon the lords and ladies of the household. Obviously, it's more the jarls and the earls, but there isn't a specific faction because at this point it doesn't know what faction you're going to pick, so it's got to be a sort of generic. You also learned about the rough games of other children who battered each other with sticks in imitation of their elders' swords. Then, as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became. So anyway, I think here I might just go for the squire because it's sort of the warrior option out of these. Though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you had become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. When you were named squire to a noble at the court, you practiced long hours with weapons, learning how to deal out hard knocks and how to take them too. You were instructed in your obligations to your lord, and of your duties to those who might one day be your vassals. But in addition to learning the chivalric idea, you also learned about the less uplifting side. Old warriors' stories of ruthless power politics, of betrayals and usurpations. Soon, everything changed, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you take this decision was, I think, just the lust for money and power, because we can't go for personal revenge yet, because King Ragnar's still alive. You want people to know your name and tremble whenever it is spoken. You want everything, and you won't let anyone stop you from having it. To everybody else, it's clear you're now motivated solely by personal gain. We're going to go realistic, no quitting without saving. I'm going to try and pay more attention, and so be it. We're going to go through the struggle, and we will be calling the character Lycaon Pictus. You definitely need persuasion, and you definitely need iron flesh. We'll put one in persuasion and one in iron flesh. Definitely axes, but do we want a two-handed axe or do we want a one-handed axe? Because if I go throwing weapons, I probably want to go two-handed primary so that I can have 3 sets of throwing axes or something. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. And also, just in case anybody is wondering, the little p in Lycaon Pictus is correct because Lycaon Pictus is actually Latin for African wild dogs, or more literally translated to painted wolves. So the second word in Latin is always a lowercase, so that is why I am sticking with that. Oh, that's kind of Viking, isn't it? That is kind of Viking, but should we... Right, which beard do we want? We want a large beard. Mine's not so crazy at the moment. I might go with that, because mine's a bit shorter at the moment. My hair is kind of long though. There's not many hairstyles. I would say my hair's kind of in between, but I might go for long hair. Should make it ginger. I feel that's more my length at the moment. I might go for that. Lycaon Pictus. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. Feel that finally you hold the key to your destiny in your hands. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdoms, you take a ship to Sargoth and the kingdom of Nords. And a short while later, rode past tidal flats and coastal marshes to the city of Sargoth, home to the Sea Raiders' distant kingsmen, the Nordic lords, who a few generations ago had carved themselves a kingdom in this rich but troubled land. You're exhausted by the time you find the inn in Sargoth. You fall asleep quickly, however you awake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden you hear a sound that stands the hairs of your neck on end. The rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. Anyway, these are my difficulty settings, and they are turned up. Combat speed is the fastest, and combat AI, campaign AI are both set to good, and the damage to the player and friends are both set to normal. The standard is like quarter damage, I think, to the player and half damage to friends, and the combat and campaign AI being on like normal, and the combat speed being on normal too. So it's a lot harder than playing it on the normal difficulty, basically. Now we just got to watch this guy. I don't know what the sounds are like either, because the music's pretty loud for me. But here the only way to kind of deal with them, when they've got small shields, you have to shoot them in the legs. Only one way about it. So what I'll do is I'll leave it, and you can pause certain bits and read it if you really want to. So basically, I have to go save his brother, and I have to go and pick up some men to do so. And the Sea Raiders, they are no joke. So I'll give you a quick overview. The Kingdom of the Nords up here. Let's try and move the map so it's facing the north. In the top left of the map, you have the light blue kingdom, which is the Vikings. And this is sort of like, I would say, sort of like northern France or Denmark or even England, because it's a fantasy map. This sort of grey-white faction to the east are sort of like the Slavic nations. They're called the Vegas, and the sort of orangey-brown nation is Swadia, which is based on the Holy Roman Empire. Well, the regions in Francia. One of them is Swabia, which does later become part of the Holy Roman Empire, but the point is, Swabia, Swadia, you can see the distinction there. It's, I guess, the Charlemagne successor. The purple faction is the Kurgits, who are basically the Mongols. And then you've got the yellow faction, which is the Saronids, which are basically the Turks. And I think that the Rhodoks are sort of based on the Italian city-states. They're all infantry, they're crossbow orientated. The Franks, or the Holy Roman Empire that you've got here, it's probably a mixture of the two. And a bit of Kingdom of England maybe thrown in. They've got the sort of feudal knights. I want to try and gain favour in these villages around Sargoth, I think. We could introduce ourselves to King Ragnar first. Do I know you? He doesn't actually know us in the game, but we're going to start off loyal, because currently we are a nobody. We are at your service. But I'm just going to simply ask him if he's got any tasks, and he wants me to... There's a bounty on someone called Ramar of Wercheg, and he is at Fenada too, so we'll go hunt him down, and we'll try and make a name for ourselves. We start with only 10 renown though, that's rather annoying, but we'll check the pub. Oh, there is a tournament straight away. Okay, so the tournaments are tough at first. The tournaments are tough at first when you don't have any proficiency. Your guy isn't as strong, basically. But we can fight this guy. It's always good when there's a drunk. Belligerent drunk. Okay, so we've taken him down relatively easily, and we get 50 dinars and a sword. So we can go sell one of those. I'm going to sell the crossbow too. We don't want the crossbow. So we got a Nordic sword and a rusty sword, and that one we picked up is actually better, but it's ever so slightly shorter. So we'll sell the other one. I don't want to get rid of the fish, because there's a chance that I lose the tournament. A high chance that I lose the tournament, and therefore lose all the money. Especially it's got 3 Jarls. Kratos, Dranton and Serena. So they're like some of the toughest people that you can get. So I'll try and use tactics. I'll try and get in a good position. So basically, what I do is I order my men to kind of hold tight. This is the sort of first aspect of the gameplay that you're going to get to see. It gives you a random weapon in the tournament too. So there's only 2 of them, so I don't even have to get involved in this round. if the volume is ridiculous on... If the volume is ridiculous... Okay, so we'll try and play it tactically. If she's after me, then... Oh, not what we wanted. It's 3 on 3. That is not what we wanted. Oh, yeah. We got Serena. Nice, lads, nice. Okay, so going well so far. So we are in the 3rd round. And yeah. Okay, can we pull him back or not? Yeah, we can. Hit him in the back, good. Follow me. And now charge. Ooh. Okay. She's getting a bit edgy there. Serena again. How many times do we have to take her down? She's still in the tournament as well. Probably because of the kill she got in the last one. I don't really want to spend another 50 dinars. We'll keep the remaining money and just try and win the tournament now. Oh, it's put me in the middle. So we're going to have to try and do it properly. They can be a bit cheeky and team up on you sometimes, so I didn't want to... It should be alright against this guy, because he's got a hatchet, and the hatchets are a bit rubbish. Whew, okay, so we're already in the last 4. I didn't expect to do that well. It's giving me a hatchet, though. 1-on-1, okay. My hand is getting a little bit sweaty. Serena again by the looks of it, but we took her down. Good. And Kratos in the final. Let's not risk the last few dinars. He has a hatchet too, so if we can beat them all, that's perfect. So we're going to jump at him. He's hit us first. Oh, yes! We have advanced to level 2 and we have won the tournament straight away. That is perfect. So, you get 20 renown for that. We only start with 10. 200 dinars for winning, and we won 2,300 on bets. So, we are in good stead already. And I normally have a rule where I only buy really cheap food, but at this point, before the towns are rich, it's kind of a little bit harder to do that. So, we'll just purchase the grain. See if anybody else is here. We don't really want the caravan guard. We could pick up Leslet. I think what we'll do is we'll make Leslet the first companion. Yes, what is it do you wish? Because you can basically get companions. Some of them like each other, some of them don't like each other. There's a lot that you can do later on, but I don't want to pass the time of day with a fellow traveller, if you permit. Very well, I do not mind. My name is Leslet. Came here to seek my fortune in Calradia, training men in the art of battle. Unfortunately, the Lord here in Sargoth has no taste for the disciplinary methods needed to turn rabble into soldiers. I told him it was wise to flog them now, and bury them later. He wouldn't listen, and I was told to take my services elsewhere. And bury them later. Okay, so that is pretty intense, but it's the sort of man we need in the Great Heathen Army. He could be one of our commanders. So if you know of any commander who believes the purpose is to win battles rather than pamper, would be pleased if you directed me at him. Feel free to join us. I'd be pleased to ride with you at least. Well, for a pay and share of any loot. Good, I'd be happy to hire someone like you. He would like 400 dinars, and we have just won a tournament, so I'm okay with that for now. And we'll be picking up the rest of the companions based... there's a companion wheel that I found that tells you which one's like who, and just to save a little bit of time, I will be the first guy I run into in the top wheel, and the first guy I run into in the bottom wheel, I will just pick up the companions that get on with them, just to make things a little bit easier. And then the rest of them we will recruit, get them to do our bidding, and then sort of get rid of them. And we might get some of them back later when it comes to the late game, because some of them can be useful for certain aspects. But we could go to the castle because we won the tournament, to introduce ourselves to the lords. The lads, do I know you? At your service, because we are not famous yet. Pretty much a farmer. We'll be trying to do the sort of Ragnar story in a sense. Ragnar, farmer to legend. Farmer to earl, to king, to legend. I look like a mercenary. Well, for now I am a mercenary. Okay, so he wants Fearichin. No, I don't want to do those tax missions on the villages. I want the villages to generally like me. Okay, so Garth is the evil lord. They have personalities. I don't know if they rotate. Because I remember in the original Mount and Blade that Rimisk was the sort of evil one of the Rodoks. But it's like Righteousin or something in Warband. They like change the personalities around for some reason. But anyway, I disagree. There should be peace with the Kurgits. Why should we fight the Kurgits? Basically no bother to us at the moment. But we will have to fight them later on. But there is one last thing, actually, I'd like to show you. And this is why I shouldn't have sold the horse, because now I have to run there. But there's a guild master basically in every town, and he can give you missions and such. So we'll see what he has to say. You can buy property from him too. You can get a lot of information and things about other things, but I don't really use the other features. They're not really needed. Because look, you can ask him a bunch of things, like how is trade here, questions of political nature, but nothing really interesting. You can find out a few things about bickering, who doesn't like him, and you can get involved a little bit in the politics, but you don't really have to. I just basically use the guild masters to get a little bit of prestige, a little bit of money, and buy land mostly. Okay, so he basically wants me to go deal with some looters, but we don't actually have an army yet, so we'll leave that. We might come back and take that. So we travel 6.4, so we can get around this guy because we travel faster than him. But he's still pretty fast. That's quite annoying. We will go to Finada and we'll pick up the troops first, because when we kill the fugitive, they're not going to like us. Unfortunately, we can't. So I always check the supplies as well, because you can sometimes get some really cheap supplies from the peasants. That's something I always forget about. Go and ask the village elder if he's got any missions for us first. So this is what a typical Nordic village looks like in this game. I see the watchtower over there, and I'm pretty sure that is the fugitive up there. Each village, the fugitive's always standing in the same place. You just got to remember every single location. So you go, I'm looking for the Ramir of Workshog, and you know he's covering him up. He won't give him away. So, but we will ask for tasks. Basically, he wants cattle because he's saying bandits have driven his herd away, but we don't have time for that because cows are expensive to come by. You also need a lot of men if you're going to raid, steal them, and then it takes an effort to sort of herd all the cows back. I don't think those cattle missions are worth it unless you're pretty damn wealthy, as in you're making a good healthy profit. But it's a bit of a shame because we won't be able to recruit troops from this village until we gain favour from them in some way. So it was a shame because it's 3 village missions and he just asked the one that I would not do. We're looking for a murderer. You go, I don't understand. I've never killed anyone. You've got the wrong man. So drop your sword if you're innocent. You've got nothing to fear. Then you have 3 options and they all give you the same option. So you just pick the one that you like the most. I've just come for your head anyway. Die, dog. Oh, I do love the sounds though. I don't think we've even really... Yeah, we took 1 hit to Kratos actually, didn't we? Because I was going to say I don't think we've really taken a hit yet, which is quite good. So now they don't like us, then -2. Still indifferent, but they won't give us anyone. So let's just have a look for the village elder here. In some mods, they basically give you... You only have to find him once and then you can access him from the village menu. But in the original, they don't have that, so you have to kind of walk to him every single time. But you get a little shortcut to buy supplies, so a little bit more expensive than I was hoping. We'll go back to Sargoth, talk to the guy, because we've got 8 men, so we should be alright to do the first mission anyway, because the first fight is only against 4 people. Looters is 11 of them, we could probably take them. We could probably take 11 looters. I'm very, very tempted to do that. Especially, we got that upgrade that I almost forgot about. We want trainer. We will be the looter. There's certain things that you let the companions do. If they say party skill, you can let the companions sort of cover that. You don't need to do all of those things yourself. So I will do trainer and looting. We'll do riding, so we'll have looting and riding and weapon master for agility, and we'll just have power strike, iron flesh, and trainer is a personal skill, so that is something that you always need. But you need persuasion, you need inventory management, and you need trainer. I basically let the companions handle the rest. So we'll just upgrade the crossbow proficiency just so that we can win tournaments. And I think we will take them on. It's 8 versus 11, but I'm fairly confident that we can take them. And we'll have a look at the new recruits. So we'll just hold position here, because the looters never use any battle tactics. They'll just charge straight at us. And they also, pretty sure they don't have shields, so 3 of our men with shields is quite useful. And they got the 2-handed axes. Spears are a bit useless though on some of them. But basically you get, each unit has a sort of random pool of weapons and armour, and they kind of get randomly assigned. So as you can see, you got like a choice between the tunic and whatever that is, the spear and the axe, to the axe and the shield. And then Leslet, you can customise Leslet yourself, because you can see he's in a bit more of a nobleman's robe type thing. But this is the squad. This is the squad that will one day rule. Okay, so they're throwing rocks. Cheeky bastards. Do we have rocks? No. So we'll charge. I want to let them kill as many as possible, so that they get the experience. But I also need a little bit of experience. And I can't also let any of them die. So... Ooh. Okay, that was a little bit risky. But yeah, we won there without taking a casualty, so that is perfect.
Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And remember, you can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram.